Okay, I think we're good. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I just gotta switch to the game that we're playing on stream because they're technically not playing the game. We might run a little long tonight just to make up for the fact that I started late. Hi, everybody. Happy Sunday. I hope the day has been restful and or productive for y'all. I got laundry done, but it's really rainy up here, kind of like gray, and I didn't get to cook like I meant to. Oh, I forgot to make sure the music was playing. Fuck. Because of course I still had it on Spotify. So this whole time there's supposed to be music playing and I completely... It's fine. Sure, whatever. Hey, Kettle. Anyway, there's supposed to be music playing this whole time. And I just... There was none because I forgot to switch the thing back. So, whatever, I guess. Anyway. So yeah, today it's like a 50-50. Part of my energy is a little bit down still because basically rain just kind of fucks me up a little bit as far as like energy levels go. Whenever it's rainy and it gets like I don't know how to play music in OBS, so I've given up. I just play the game music before and after. You need to do either an audio. So the short answer is that there's an option under sources to add either application. Usually what I do is like application audio capture, and I literally point it at whatever application I want to point audio from. I'll just go through screenshots in the thread about and like how do I shot computer to go do it. It's not that complicated. If nobody explains it to you, then you don't know. But it's not that complicated to do. It's like literally you make a source with the audio to capture the audio output, and then you just select whichever you select the actual like thing that's playing the music, and done. But I'll throw screenshots and like down in the Gilded somewhere so that you have a reference. If that is a thing that you are okay with. Sorry. I just talked with my mom about not offering help without asking, but okay, if you're cool with it, yeah. Okay, yeah, then I'll do that at some point. Now, if I could just find where I put my now playing thing, because I locked it and now I have no idea which one of these it is, and I keep forgetting. Webcam, that's the stream background. Okay, where is it? Come on. Also, I like the rain and also dislike the rain. It's mostly on and off here. Yeah, for me, rain just like straight up messes with my energy levels. And that's usually why it gives me why it usually gives me a hard time. There it is. Alright. So yeah. Because I didn't have a time to actually like cook anything or even put anything into like my pressure cooker, I just said, heck with it. We're gonna do All right. Let's see. Oh, right, I forgot to turn off the poll. I knew I was gonna forget something. I almost banned Nightbot by accident. Let me go turn off that. Let me go turn off those timers, and I think we should be good to go. So yeah, today we're gonna keep it kind of low key. I'm just gonna do some work on a game dev, on like one of the game dev projects that I usually have going. Mostly just because what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, mostly just because I wanted something a little more low key to kind of like close out the month before we transition over into doing the Legend of Dragoon next Saturday, next Sunday. I can count. I know what time is. Next Sunday we're gonna start with Legend of Dragoon, but before that, I kind of just wanted to like focus on that. What game is it? I will explain once we get into it. This controller also so that plugging in stuff works. If you see me look over like this way every now and again, just assume that I'm going to go check that I'm looking at Riley to make sure that he's not like either running off somewhere or being a nuisance. Okay. So that's jacked in and that's handled. All right. Okay, so I don't have the VODs for it, but there was this game that we played on stream that FromSoft made a long, long time ago called Lost Kingdoms, right? And while FromSoft, at least with the way that Armored Core is going to actually be releasing a game that's not like Souls or Sekiro or Elden Ring or whatever for the first time in a while, which is nice, right? I have a feeling they're probably never going to go back to Lost Kingdoms, like, ever. I'm pretty sure they're not going to go back to Lost Kingdoms, like, ever. So, my main line of thought, really, is that I was like, so, fine, they're not going to go back to that. What if I made a game like Lost Kingdoms? And that's basically one of the two prototypes that I've been working on in my downtime when I'm not like doing job stuff or things of that nature, right? So yeah, basically, functionally, this game is supposed to be one part deck builder, one part action game. Much like the original Lost Kingdoms is. The main things that are different primarily are that the protagonist is still I shouldn't say still. So like the original Lost Kingdoms, right, as well as the sequel Lost Kingdom 2, both of the protagonists are cis women. For what I'm currently calling Untitled Lost Kingdom Spiritual Successor, or just Oaks for short. With Oaks, the protagonist is black and non-binary femme. And that's pretty much where I'm at right now. A lot of the other story beats and stuff I haven't figured out just yet because I've been focused on like getting system stuff up and running. But the general idea is that the main character, whose name is Io, will be using like the planet, so Io. Yeah. So Io, her main thing is going to be using these cards and summoning various creatures that do various things, much like in the original Lost Kingdoms. So basically speaking, because it's the prototype, I'm doing like all of the 3D modeling and stuff myself. The aesthetic, mostly because I am very much a believer in the it is like, you know, pay game devs more to make games that look worse, quote unquote. I say quotes, right? Because worse is not really necessarily worse in as much as it is like, yeah, maybe we're not talking like I can see the sweat running down the character's face and all that, but you don't have to make it that high quality in order to like actually do that thing, right? So basically speaking, the music itself is currently filler from Lost Kingdoms, but pretty much everything else I'm working on myself in some capacity. So I did the modeling, I've done the art for all the icons that you see here, I programmed the user interface and all that other stuff, right? All right, I forgot this thing actually works. Hey, Stubby. So yeah, the basic idea, right, is that there are, as you can see here, right, the game itself has 5 major elements. So neutral, fire, water, earth, wind, right? Yes, it is. So the last time I showed off Oaks, I had a more, like, Eo's model was a little more realistic in the sense that, like, so her old model, for comparison, I'll drag it in so you can see what they used to look like. It's not that I have a problem with their old model per se, in as much as the level of detail required to maintain it was a lot TM. So I was just like, I can't sustain that. So for context for what their old model looks like, I'm just going to put their old model next to them in game so you can kind of like see more or less. So it's mostly the same. Mostly with the second version of the model, I deliberately was trying to invoke more of like the more like deliberately PlayStation 1 era style. And there are certain other modeling techniques that I use that are a little bit less destructive. So it's a little easier to like make changes to the model without other shenanigans happening. I wasn't able to figure out a good way of getting the cards that she uses for like summonings and things to work correctly. So that's why these 2 rectangles are floating out here, because I haven't been able to figure out how to get them to properly bind to her fingers correctly. So they get to just kind of walk around doing their thing while these cards are sort of floating around. But yeah, I deliberately kind of went a little more low poly with this version. Hey, Lirio, how you doing? So yeah, now that we've actually seen that, let me throw out the old model real quick, and then we're going to go back to explaining the way that the elements work and shit. So, basically the way that the game works, right? Right now I'm still deliberately sort of like prototyping out animation systems and things like that, which basically just means that I'm doing like a lot of filler stuff. But the way that the game works is that you have 5 elements, right? Neutral, fire, water, earth, and wind. If I remember correctly, if I can remember my own system, I might have to go look up notes to actually remember the way that the thing is supposed to be. So let me go pull up something real quick. Documents. Hold on. Hang on a second. Forgot to adjust the thing. Excuse me real quick. I forgot to adjust the thing real quick. Hang on. We don't need to do that. Sorry, just making sure that a couple of things that people don't need to see are configured accordingly. My bad. Let's see here. At some point, I'm going to have to figure out probably another way to do this that will make sure that we don't have shenanigans show up on screen when they shouldn't. Let's see. Hang on. Give me one sec. That's for somebody else. Sorry about that. Give me 1 second. That is for somebody else. Y'all don't need to see that. That is a thing somebody else asked me to help them with. And you do not need to see that. So excuse that. Okay, it wasn't in there. Cool. I'm going to figure out where the heck I put the set. I'm going to figure out where the heck I put the weakness system. I don't remember. Lol. All right. So. Right. Okay, I don't remember where I put it, but I'm going to give my best college try. If I remember correctly, water element should beat fire, and I want to say that wind beats earth, but I might have that backwards. It's been a minute, and I didn't actually write down the loop anywhere. So when you enter battle mode, right, you basically draw 4 cards to your hand, and depending on which button you press, right, you will wind up using that particular card. So, for example, if I take, let me see, if I take my Y button and I press Y, I basically fire a crow. It just kind of goes flying and does like that kind of thing. Hey, Rainy. Water beats fire, earth beats water, wind beats earth, fire beats wind. Something like that, probably. I forget the exact order that I did it in. I can probably go look through the code to go figure it out, and it won't be too difficult. But yeah, with the crow, for example, right? So generally speaking, you have a limit of up to 4 cards of any given type that you're allowed to have in your deck, right? So I used up one of the crows already. So it's currently counting, right, how many crows I have in my deck total, even though I've discarded a card because I just used the crow. But as you can see, some attacks will, for example, right, fly in the direction that you're facing. Others, like the knight, for example, I'll use a knight like this one. Yeah, fire beats wind. Yeah, you can tell that fire beats wind because if elements are neutral to each other, it's 5 damage, give or take. If elements, if you're using an element that has an advantage, you do a little bit more. So yeah, fire beats wind. Let's see. Case in point. Hang on. Target. Okay, good. The targeting system is mostly working. Okay, so if I target... Oh, is my left bumper not working because this thing is falling too much? It feels like the left bumper is acting weird. Love that for me. Hang on. Left bumper, please stop. There we go. Alright, so if, for example, I target an enemy and then throw this card over here, yeah, as you can see, fire beats wind because it's doing a lot of damage. So there's some cards that will kind of like, if you target an enemy, will just sort of sit and keep blasting it, and you can call them back just by pressing whatever key you used to summon them initially. And then you also have cards you can just summon, right? That will do a set effect when they're called upon. So yeah, Stubby literally actually remembered. Yeah. Stubby literally got the order correct after I forgot it. Lamau. That's good. So yeah, that's the basics behind how it works. But a couple of things that weren't in Lost Kingdoms that are in this game. You have the ability to dodge forward and backward. And you get a little bit of invulnerable time Which character is this again? This is literally the main character of the game. Their name is Io. Let me see if I can pull up the proper full character art. So it's not as immediately evident because of the graphical style, but yes, they do rock like an actual puff ponytail. The main thing that's different between like the concept art, the main difference between the concept art and like the final is that I switched the lipstick to pink, from pink to purple, just because it goes with the rest of the outfit better. But yeah, basically the idea is sling cards around, use it for combats and things. But yeah, like the main things that are different from yeah, this button is like stuck. That's bad. The main things that are different from Lost Kingdoms are like two major things, right? So with Lost Kingdoms, right, your only real method of attacking at all is by using the cards. So once you run out of... Yeah, that's food. Hold on. There you go. Stay right there. Be right there. Stay. Stay. And do this. Stay. Also, yeah, hi, Rainy. I forgot to say hi to Rainy. My bad. So yeah, a couple of things that are different that I changed over from Lost Kingdoms just because I was like, I know why they did this. And I understand the design goal, but I don't like it, so I'm going to change it. A couple of things. First and foremost is, I'm going to get to it. To grab a couple of things to actually eat with dinner, because that's important. And they're tall, love it, especially since I found out I'm small instead of average height. Yeah, if you know me, you know very well, tall femmes are love, tall femmes are life. If you know me, then you know this. This is kind of just the thing. And I also did my best to make sure that like her body build is also the art style doesn't really express it super well, because the thing that I'm not good at yet is depicting muscles correctly. I tend to over exaggerate them a little bit and it looks kind of off. But yeah, like Io's build is also not meant to be like, you know, haha, slim girl. No, like, I don't know. Let me see if I actually did that correctly when I drew her. Okay, yeah, kind of, right? Like, body is very much like Barrel. And no, like her arms and stuff are, she jacked is basically the way I would put it. We're not talking like, the way that like professional bodybuilders go, but Io is generally like, this is the official like fan art like regulations and stuff. Like if you draw Io with like curves here and like skinny arms and skinny legs, you messed up. Muscle. Yes. Like some, yes. Like the answer is yes. right? Like I said, we're not talking like I think was it Kang Yoon Hee. I'm trying to remember that one. I know somebody posted. Yeah, so it's not like bodybuilder type muscle, but definitely not like those are not stick arms that she has. They are out here. They got the cut. Muscles that are for using, not for showing. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we're not talking like so not like Dragon Ball level jacked. Maybe like a step and a half below that. Where, you know, if she flex, you see it, right? But even without flexing, like her arms and her legs are supposed to be relatively thick. So the major thing I wanted to show off before we get into like other like Archie stuff is that so the major thing is that beforehand, right, I was using a lot of like super placeholdery models for and these are still kind of placeholder but less so. Like I was using a lot of like blocks and squares and things like that for the various spirits that you were summoning from these cards, right? But now that I've had some time to like actually go back to Blender and learn some things. Hang on a second. Oh no. Okay. I accidentally messed up somehow and made give me a second, I gotta restart it. Alright, I was talking about the things that are different between this game and Lost Kingdoms, and then I got distracted. So, a couple of things that are different between this game and Lost Kingdoms, right? A couple of things that are different. First and foremost, that you have if all else fails and you're out of card. Well, let me put it like this, right? If you're in a situation where you're like, okay, I did deactivate eventually. If you're in a situation where you're like, wow, I brought absolutely terrible cards to this fight, and I don't know what I'm going to do. You have basically an element neutral attack that you can always use. It just has a little bit of like a cooldown in terms of like how quickly you can fire it. But you always have an option even if you run out of cards. And if by chance you do run out of cards, right? Like I'm just going to discard. Even if you run out of cards, right? I remember when I was playing Lost Kingdoms in a situation where I didn't have the right attacking cards, I felt like I was shut out of luck. Yeah. So, additionally, right? If you use up all of the cards in your deck, you get an automatic reshuffle. It takes a little while. It has like a little bit of a cooldown, but you get an automatic reshuffle, and it just does that always. You can also so you can still in regular Lost Kingdoms you could also forcibly discard your cards. But now if you need to like super quickly mill your deck for whatever reason, you can do that if you still want to. But on the off chance that like your attacking cards are not well suited, right? You have a blast that you can use that kind of like helps you offset and deal with that. you also have a forward and a backward dodge, right? So if you don't hold anything, you just dodge backwards. But if you're moving, you dodge in the direction. You dodge in the direction that you dodge in the direction that you're currently moving. It's not active yet because I don't have, like, enemies don't attack or anything as of yet. But the intention behind this is that if you're able to dodge an attack with the right timing, you get a free mana refund. So if you look at the top left corner there, right, you'll see that if you look at the top left corner, you'll see that aside from your health, you also have basically a pool of mana that you cast from. And different cards have different costs, right? Which is supposed to be listed here, but I guess I'm going to have to fix that and add that in somehow. But basically, right, every card has a specific cost. And much like in Lost Kingdoms, right, if you run out of MP, if you run out of MP and try to, like, actually, if you run out of MP and try to, like, actually cast a particular thing, if you run out of MP, right, and try to cast a particular spell, let me see if I can force it with some nonsense. Right, you can still use the spell. It just costs HP instead, and that's not any different from Lost Kingdoms, right? But the main idea behind, like, having the dodges is that if you dodge with the right timing, at some point, it will do a thing where you regain MP for dodging, and then potentially, if I can get it to work, probably activate some kind of slowdown effect or something where you get a chance to basically throw a card or attack kind of for free, kind of like Witch Time. But I haven't worked that part out yet. Because there's still some other things I've been working on instead. So, insofar as what we're doing today, with this, y'all get to see me dick around in Blender for a little bit. Make like an attack animation for one of the other cards that I want to animate. Because the main thing, right, is that up until recently, I only had basic shapes like cubes and cylinders and things like that to stand in for each of the card spirits that we were using. But now we have actual models that I put together, untextured and things like that, because, like, doing them correctly is a lot of effort. But we have, right, we have some untextured models, right, that we can kind of use as points of reference for what's the word I'm looking for? Now we can use as points of reference for the actual models and things like that. But some of them need animations because we don't have them. So today, I'm gonna just, like, fuck around and get us an animation for this giant here. We're not gonna be able to see all of him because I haven't put together the systems yet for some of the more for some of that more impressive camera work. Like, oh yeah, gotta pivot and zoom out and then, like, do this and go bam. Time to figure that out yet. So one of the courses you should add is QP Mayo. Gucci, but also, huh? Was that for here? I am having a little bit of a confusion. Just a little wet white sandwich sauce to the game. Okay. Yeah, I'm just like, wait, what? I was like, has Gucci been I was like, did they get their account like hacked or something? The fuck? I was about to say, you weirded me out for a second, dog. Like, yeah, you had me going for a second because I'm like, wait a minute. Like, what the heck is going on here? I'm like, Gucci's everything okay? Yeah, I was getting weirded out for a minute. I'm like, yo, wait a minute. Gucci's everything okay? This is kind of weird. That said, though, I don't. Now that I know what's actually going on, I don't like mayonnaise. So, in the words of the ancients, nah, you gotta hold that. I'm just gonna take these edges and slide them. If I can slide them without causing everything to break, that'd be great. I'm just adjusting where these kneecaps are because I sort of don't like it. So I'm gonna adjust these real quick before I worry about doing any animation stuff. Okay. So we got that, and that's good. So we're gonna come out of edit mode. Okay. Yeah, because basically the basic idea when you're doing 3D modeling, I'm grossly oversimplifying this, and I am not doing it super well. Is there a goal for this stuff, or are you just practicing? The prototypes are so that ideally, I can somebody sent me something funny on my phone. I have to read it. I have to read it to myself later. Not out loud, read it to myself later. Gosh. Really the point of the prototypes more than anything else is I'll put it like this. For modeling stuff, I'm doing it because I can. But also just because it helps to have your fingers in many pies as an independent game developer. So like for me personally, it's just I want to know how to do this thing because it's useful to know how to do it, even if I don't actually wind up doing it as like anything related to any projects later. It's just helpful to know how to do, just in case. Right. And I'm just fucking around and adding ears because I wanna. Okay. So basically speaking, before we can animate, so main body. All right. So crash course in how you do animation with like 3D models and shit. So basically, right? Especially if you're doing humanoid ones, the basic thing that you want to do is, and I'm probably gonna mess up the bones at least once today, but that's just gonna have to be what it is. It's fine. The basic idea is that you create something called an armature. So we're gonna add armature, and the point of an armature is basically that it with an armature, the whole point of who needs bones, this giant needs bones. Visibility, that's not the right one. Where did I put this thing in front? Where is it? It always takes me a minute to figure out, to remember how to make sure that we can see the actual bones in front of this thing. Viewport display in front. There we go, right? So the basic idea, right, is that you use, not scale. I don't want to do that. Move it down right here a little bit into like the guts. We're going to turn on wireframe mode. The basic idea, right, is that we want to, dadgummit, did I break something because hang on, I gotta do the armature over again because shenanigans happened. Okay, so nope. Armature. I'm gonna move you up here. Alright. And then we want to select this one. Go to edit mode instead of object mode, and we're going to scale it up a little bit. So the basic idea behind this whole thing, we're just going to do armature. And then this specific bone is going to be spine 1. So the basic idea behind an armature is that functionally you are literally laying out the skeleton inside of the model. The way that your skeleton lives inside of your body. Same thing for this thing. So yeah, spine number 1 over here. We click the top, we click E, so we can extrude a bone. I'm gonna do, yikes. We're gonna turn it to the side. We're gonna turn the camera to the side, so that this way we can be sure that the bone isn't gonna like go veering off to the left or right. Do this. We're gonna extrude another one. Go straight up and do this. And then we'll just move around the bones a little bit. Because we want the third spine segment to reach right up to about, give or take, right where the neck is supposed to start. So you have spine 1 right here. We click this one in the middle. We do spine 2. We click this one in the middle, and we click spine 3. Right? Yeah, spine number 1, spine number 2, spine number 3. Right? Now, in order to save time, we're not going to do, well, once we have the 3 spine pieces, right, we're going to come over here, extrude straight out and up. And this one that we did now here is the neck. We can just shrink it a little bit and make sure the neck ends like right about here. Then we can extrude another one, tilt it a little forward if you want. And this is going to be the head. Now, the nice thing about Blender is that while we do need to like do the arms and legs and things like that, we don't have to do both sides. We only need to do one side of the body, and then we can cheat and do a little thing later that makes it a little easier to just like go lol, bop, easy clap. So what we're going to do, we're going to click on the spine 1 bone and we're going to duplicate it. We're going to put it over here, right? And this is going to be, I usually like to call this the calf. We're going to click the bottom and use the G key and then the Z key to sort of like lock it in the Z and sort of like navigate it to here. We're going to hit the E key, Z key again. Oh, hang on. Lie. We're going to rotate this first. So I'm going to hit the R key. Spin it around like so. And I'm going to specify 180. The reason why we want to do this is because when we take... Why are you doing that? I'm going to rotate it around the Y so it doesn't do any shenanigans. We're going to do 180. Then we're going to click the bottom of the bone, hit EZ to extrude downward only. Extend it to about where the ankle ends, and this is the shin. we're going to switch over to our side view. And we're going to do a couple of things. First, we extrude a bone downward and forward, and this is going to be the foot. We go straight forward from here, lock it on the y-axis, and that's the toe. And then we're going to do two little weird ones. First thing we're going to do is we're going to click on this little joint right in between the calf and the shin, where the knee is supposed to be. We're going to hit G. We're going to hit Y to lock it on the y-axis. Move it a little bit forward. Then we're going to extrude a bone forward and lock it on the Y over here. We're going to call this knee IK. And we're going to uncheck the form over here. We're going to click the ankle. We're going to extrude rather, going backward. So extrude, for context, means, hey, take this thing and pull another thing out of the surface of it. So when we're extruding, we're literally just like making this thing grow extra stuff, right? So with this other bone that we extruded from the ankle, we're gonna uncheck the form, and we're gonna go heel IK. We're gonna select both of these. We're gonna select this one and then select this one. Okay, can't do it that way. We're gonna select this one first and do Alt P and hit clear parent, and then move the bone forward on the y-axis so it's out here, or move the bone on the y-axis so it's out here. And then we're gonna go over here to the heel IK, also clear the parent. Oh, I think we're supposed to clear the parent. I believe we're supposed to clear the parent. I might be misremembering. Let me go double check one of my other models. And this is the other reason why I practice this a lot. Because more often than not, I forget how you're supposed to do how you're supposed to do specific IKs. And sometimes I have to go back and check one where I did everything right to be sure that I didn't fuck something up. So edit mode, I'm gonna here. Yeah, the heel IKs. Hang on, bone. The heel IKs do not have parents. Good. All right. Making that thing grow extra. Oh my God, Gucci, no! Okay, so while we're here, we're just going to set up a particular thing for later so we don't have to worry about it. We're going to switch from... So, Blender has a lot of different modes that you can edit objects in, right? So you have object mode, which is just for moving things around. Edit mode is where like you can change faces, extrude things, all that other stuff. And specific to armatures, you have this thing called pose mode, which is how we're going to do our actual animations when we get to that. So over here, we're going to hit pose mode. I'm going to click on this. Come over to this weird thing that says bone constraint properties and hit this. I'm going to add a bone constraint, and that bone constraint is called inverse kinematics. Basically, the idea behind inverse kinematics is that it's a way of linking up bones so that they move constrained to each other. And you usually use inverse kinematics on arms and legs to make them move correctly. So case in point, right? I clicked on the shin and added this IK bone constraint to it. My target is the armature. The bone I'm targeting is going to be the heel IK. And now, if I did this correctly, right? As you can see, when I move the heel IK, right? Now the rest of the leg and everything moves with it. For extra control, I'm going to go to the pole target, go to armature, go to bone, and do the knee IK. And now it looks like, oh gosh, my foot is pointed backwards. Easiest way to fix this is to take the pole angle and slowly spin it round till it's facing back forward again. And just to be safe, right, there's a specific number that you use depending on how many joints you have in the leg. In this case, I have 2 joints in the leg, so I'm going to use a chain length of 2. And basically speaking, right, the reason why we did that thing with the knee IK is that now wherever the knee IK is located, the shin will point toward it, right? So it's a way of making sure that we don't have to like do a bunch of extra twisting and weird stuff in order to get legs to pivot, because they do that, right? Like your legs can pivot the knee toward certain points and things. Now, just to make sure that we have some other things under control, right? Two things we're going to do. First thing we're going to do is come back over here, go over to edit mode. I'm going to select the foot first, then the heel IK second, and do Control P and hit keep offset. So what this does is now, right, the bone for the foot is parented to the heel IK. I'm going to go to pose mode. I'm going to click on the foot. I'm going to add another bone constraint and say copy location to the foot. So the shin has the IK modifier, right? So the shin has the thing that makes it move like a leg move, right? With this bone constraint, it should be copy location, right? Did I mess that one up? Yep. We're going to do copy location for the foot. We're going to say armature. We're going to do should be the shin, I think, right? And we're going to move the head tail to 1. The reason why we're doing this, we didn't have that problem before, but in earlier versions of Blender, I guess if it's not happening, we don't have to do it. But in earlier versions of Blender, right, you would be able to drag the heel IK all the way down and the foot would attach, right? I guess technically speaking, we don't actually need... Oh yeah, that's why. So we parented... The reason why we did the parenting is so that this works properly, but when you do that, right, if you pull the heel IK down, it will detach. So you do copy location, armature, and then you do... It should be calf. No, that's a lie. It should be shin, sorry. Armature, shin. Bring it down to 1, if I did this right anyway. Right? Yeah, it should be the shin. Bring the head tail down to 1. And now, right, this allows you to both keep the rotation. This allows you to keep the rotation of the heel IK correct, while also allowing you, if you need to... Hang on. I put it on the wrong thing, didn't I? Hold on. It's supposed to be on the foot. Sorry. Copy location, armature, shin, 1. So this way, right, with this setup, you can rotate the heel IK and rotate the foot, but you can also then pull the heel IK away from the body without causing the foot to, like, do separation stuff. Very important. So now that we've done that, right, we're going to come up here and we're going to switch back to edit mode first. And right here at this ball that connects the second spine and the third spine, we're going to extrude and come out a little bit. Going to do this, right? This is going to be our shoulder over here. Shoulder. So I'm going to do Alt-P while the shoulder is connected to clear the parent again. I'm going to move it like over here. And then I'm going to reparent it back to spine 3. And again, the reason why we're doing this is primarily... The reason why I reparented it afterward is because I would like, you know, when the upper body moves, I want to make sure the shoulder moves with it. I just have to like detach it and move it down a little bit. So we go back over to edit mode. I'm going to just move this over and down a little bit so it's like over here. I'm going to extrude, lock it on the x-axis to about here. Then we're going to extrude again, lock it on the x-axis again, all the way out to here. Or I could just extrude and make it like huge like this. Right click, subdivide. And if I say dadgummit, if I subdivide it into 2 cuts, then that basically does the same thing. So this is the shoulder. This is the bicep. Then this is the forearm. Okay. A couple of things we're going to do here. We're going to keep this over here. Going to extract teeny bone here. This is going to be our hand. I'm going to extract them the same thing and make a bigger one. And this is going to be hand IK. And anytime you have an IK, make sure that you uncheck the form, because with the form, the idea is that if the form is checked, it's like, okay, this means that this bone is used to like warp the material of the thing it's attached to. And the IKs are not necessarily supposed to do that. So within our hand, right? Well, I just got to make this hand a little bit smaller. Because the idea really is that the hand is going to go a little bit smaller back to about like this spot, right? Then I'm going to do another one over here. Do this, and this is, so normally this is where I would be doing things like in more complicated models. I'll give you all an example. File, open, hang on, cancel, we're not. Oh God, I forgot. Blender doesn't like open files in new windows, so you have to like actually manually do it. So as an example, right, if I was going to do something that had a more complicated hand, so this is an example, right? If I was going to do something that had a more complicated hand, right? Edit mode, okay. So, right, I have the hand IK bone over here. The hand bone is like inside of this, right? And then attached to, oh, I love this already. Hi, Ashay. Hey, Kaz. Yeah, so I didn't make this model. This model I literally got from a place and then rigged it for practice. This is one of my favorite characters from Tales of Symphonia. I just literally got her bare model and just rigged it for practice because I needed a reminder. So in more complicated models, right? All right, I need to probably make sure the hand IK isn't parented either. I should fix that. So, right, with more complicated models, you have the hand, right? And then connected to the hand is like each of the things that does finger shit, right? But in our case, given that we're working with like that PS1 era aesthetic, let me disconnect this before I forget, right? So given what we're working with, right? The hand bone is going to have only one other bone for the hand. And then we are also gonna, let me see here. Nope. From the hand bone, we're just gonna extract this. We're gonna unparent it. Oh, we're gonna, that's a lie actually. We can just take this one and duplicate it and move it over here. Or move it over here, right? Notice I'm trying to put these the balls of these things right about where the joints are for each of these. And I'm going to extrude and do this one over here, right? So if I did this right, the parent for this one, assuming I didn't completely screw it up, relations is the hand, right? So this is thumb 1 and thumb 2, right? Stretch, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So yeah, a stretch is just for me. If you want everybody to do it, it's an everybody stretch. For context, for anybody who hasn't been to one of my streams before. So what you're saying is hand bone connected to the wrist bone. I do apologize for that one. Yeah, technically speaking, yeah, memes aside, technically it's the forearm in this case, but yes, technically correct. The best kind of correct. I'm just gonna also take a minute and try to adjust. It's okay if it doesn't get completely perfect, but generally speaking, when you're trying to like lay out your bones and stuff, you don't want like your hand bone to be like raised up when the hand is out flat. It causes shenanigans when you're trying to do other stuff later. And in this case, right, I'm going to take these bones and lift them up, and I want them about here. Keep them at about the same height. So now that we have all that, right? So, like I said before, let me just double check one thing real quick. Make sure I didn't forget a thing. That's not supposed to be connected. Good. All right. So, now that I have this whole right side of this set, or left side of this set up, whichever one it is, damn it. I'm going to highlight all these bones, not the center ones, just these ones over here. Well, wait. Nope. Watching other people use Unity is much more relaxing than using it myself. Part of me wonders if I should try using it again, but I'm trying to be kinder to myself. The funny part is I haven't even jumped back over into Unity yet. Like, this is just me fucking around in Blender to get the model set up. Like, the Unity stuff is over here, which is the funny part. But no, I feel you. Even with that in mind, yeah, you're right. It's because I spent like 6+ years using this thing at this point that, like, Unity specifically, not Blender. Blender I only just got into recently. So we're going to move this arm a little bit back because it's time to make IK from the elbow. So we're going to do elbow. We're going to do this, Blender, I tried and failed. I was not in a good headspace. Yeah, I have pieced this together from several different... I pieced a lot of what I'm doing together now from several different tutorials. And it took me a hot minute to even get to this point. And there are still things about this program I don't understand at all. UV mapping... completely out of my wheelhouse. My bad. We've been sitting here working quiet this whole time. It's having me talking. We should put on some jams. Let me see if I can figure out something that's not going to get us, like... up. Nah. I want something from, like... let's just do Dragon Quest Monsters. That one should be fine, I guess. The music is probably going to be soft, but that's okay, because, if I make it too loud, I can't hear myself think, and I'm going to, like, kind of start fucking up some more. The music's a little soft, sorry, but I have to keep it not so loud that I can't hear myself thinking. So we pulled the elbow back a little bit, and then that's when we made the... should be elbow. Elbow IK. Thank you. Alright. We're going to select the forearm. We're going to come over to pose mode. Go down to the bone constraints, and this is where we do IK again. Target is the armature. The bone is the hand IK. Pole target is armature. The bone is elbow IK. Now, at first, this causes everything to go bendy, all out of shape, and you're like, oh my god, what the fuck? This happens. Put the chain length to 2, so that it only affects... With the chain length, the idea is that with the chain length, it's only going to affect, like, this bone and then 2 bones back. And then we're just going to mess around with the pole angle again until... In this case, we're going to go to, like, -90 to make sure that we put everything back pretty much in the shape that it was supposed to be. If we want to test this, we click the hand IK and we move it. And yeah, that's good. It's called Blender because it blends one's brain, right? Also, hi. Hey, alls. How you doing? How are the things in the stuff? Okay, hold on. Edit mode. I feel like I messed something up here. Pose mode. Edit mode. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna go back to edit mode. I'm gonna redo these bones because I don't like the way that those bones are bending. Makes me feel a type of way. I don't like that. All right, so we're gonna go to the hand. We're gonna extrude and do it like this. And yeah, that's the thing, right? Like, the way that I have managed to get through Blender so far at this particular point is that I focus super hard on the way that I've gotten through it now is I focused super hard on learning very specific things about and then I open up Blender on the high new instead and caused even more trouble. I'm good. Laundry's done and I got groceries. Yeah. So yeah, basically I've only managed at this point to sort of figure out what I'm doing in Blender by virtue of the fact that I was like, you know what? I'm only going to focus on the things that I need to know right now, and I'm going to learn nothing else but those things. And it has kind of worked. The only downside is that I'm pretty sure... But this is me killing the perfectionist in my head. The perfectionist in my head was like, but now you don't know things about, like, then we're gonna parent, so parent this back to, fuck. Okay, come on. Okay, we're not doing this. Come over here, parent, hand. Okay, there we go. Like, I'm not trying to do this right now. We're not doing shenanigans like that. Okay, pose mode. Okay, I think this is, yeah, that's better. Gonna grab our hand IK. Wiggity, 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 wiggity. All right, that's good. And now we just need to... So, hand copies the rotation of the hand IK. So we're gonna come back over here. We're gonna click on the tiny hand in here. Come over to the constraints. We're gonna do copy rotation. Target is armature. Bone is hand IK. And this is so that the thumb, right, and all the other, like, basically this is that when we rotate, right, when we rotate our hand IK, then the rest of the hand rotates with it. It's the only reason why we put on that other constraint. So we're gonna do thumb 1, thumb 2. Okay, now that we've done all of this, we can go back to edit mode. We can come over here and flatten it this way. We are only going to select the bones over here on this side of the body, right? And on this side of the body, once you selected these bones, we're going to right click. We're going to do names, auto name left and right. And what this does is it automatically names the bones that we've selected according to what side of the x-axis they fall on. So all of these bones over here. So this is your reminder, right? When you're looking at a character from the front, right? This is a thing that messes with people a lot, but it's also kind of the way that this works, right? Like, what hand do I have up right now? Like the hand that I have up right now. To y'all, it looks like my left hand, but this is not my left hand I'm holding up. It's my right hand. Similarly speaking, Right now, it looks like on this side, I'm holding up my right hand, but this is my left hand. Same principle here, right? Because even though it looks like this side of the body is the character's right side of the body, that's from the viewer's perspective. From the actual model's perspective, if we turn around and go to the back, it's left side of the body. And that's why when you look at the names of these bones now, .L got appended onto them, right? So thumb2.L, bicep.L, shoulder.L, etc. Now, if we highlight all of these left bones again, we right click and we do symmetrize, it will automatically what do you call it, Cosmo, if you outspend to strike a JoJo pose, pause small? I think I misheard pose in another word. Also, hi, Shark. Can't say anything else sometimes. But yeah, if we look at over here now, right? When I did symmetrize, it basically copied over all of the things that I did and all the other like constraints I set up, but then mirrored them. So on the right side. So yeah, when you do, when you set up an armature for animating in Blender, you only have to do one side of the body, and then you can use symmetrize to do the other side automatically, and you don't have to worry about it. So, last bit of thing we need to do to actually get this thing to be animation ready. We're going to click on the main body of the model first. We're going to hold down Shift and click. Sorry, I should be more specific. First things first, we switch out of like edit mode or pose mode or whatever we're doing. We switch out of that back to object mode. What we're going to do, I'm just switching this to make this a little clearer. Click on the model first. Click on the armature second. Make sure you're holding down the Shift key. If you hit Control P, right, it says set parent to, it says armature deform. We're going to do with automatic weights. Now, what did we just do here? In order for, this is how this works. In order for the armature to actually control the way that the mesh kind of deforms around it, we have to do this thing called weight painting. So I'm going to select the actual thing to sort of like demonstrate what weight painting is. So the idea behind weight painting, right, is that basically every part of the model, right? Every part of the model is now related to a specific hot zone that is also related to one of the bones that we have, right? So with automatic weights, what we just did was we went, hey, computer, make your best guess at what hot zones belong to which parts of the armature when you do automatic weights. So now when you go to pose mode, right? If I move some part of the model, right? Because I've done automatic weights, now other parts move with it, right? And that's pretty cool. So automatic weights will not always work perfectly. Sometimes automatic weights will put too much focus on a particular hot zone for a certain part of the model, and then it doesn't look right. That happens sometimes. There are ways to fix that. But for our purposes, automatic weights will work fine right now. You can always manually repaint the layers. Words are hard. Give me a second, sorry. You can always manually redo the weight painting if you have to. If you're just like, no, I don't like the way that any of this turned out, and I want to like manually redo it, you can do that. Automatic weights is just like a good way to just kind of get it quick and dirty, and then you can refine it a little bit later if you need to. So I'm going to come over here to Blender, this window in Blender. I'm going to, see how it turns its little crosshairs over here when I'm down here? Click this. I'm going to drag and pull this down to split this window in half. I'm going to resize this a little bit. I'm going to take this, switch over to this thing called the dope sheet. And in the dope sheet, I'm going to switch to the action editor. The long and short of it is that what I'm going to do now is this giant is going to only have one animation, which is like a ground pound and shit. It's going to pound the ground and then like things are going to happen, right? So the reason why I split the window into two is for two reasons. One is so that I can turn on this thing called auto keying, which will let me just have the animation update with specific keyframes as I'm animating it. But we're going to get to that in a second. The first thing I like to do, just to make sure that I always have a thing going, just in case Blender does some shenanigans, I'm going to do 0_T-pose. This is a me thing. This is not a thing that anybody has to do. I'm going to do something called 0T-pose. I'm going to click on this little shield over here just to make sure that Blender doesn't fuck around and forget to save it. I'm going to hit A to highlight. Right now, I'm in pose mode, which means I'm only working with the armature. So I'm going to hit A to highlight everything, right click and do insert keyframe, location and rotation. And now, if I look down here in the action editor, I now have a keyframe in the T-pose for every single bone that is in my armature. Just like to have a T-pose here, just because and apply this pose to the rest pose. I like to have a T-pose animation just because sometimes Blender does some weird stuff and it's good to just have a T-pose animation, at least for me, to make sure that if I absolutely have to reset the bone somehow, I have some way to reset them properly. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to make a new action. It's going to say 0T-pose 001. I'm just going to do giant underscore attack. I'm going to hit A again to select all of these. I'm going to come down to the action editor, right click and hit delete keyframes. Okay. I forgot to hit the shield again, but it's okay. We're okay. Just make sure that once you if you make a new action for whatever reason, make sure you immediately turn on the shield that says fake user. Blender does weird shit sometimes, and having that fake user thing kick in is how you make sure that the weird shit doesn't become really, really bad weird shit. I wish I could explain how it works, but I have no actual proper explanation for it. So, with the giant's attack, right? Now, here's the thing. Because of the way that we set up our keyframes, because of the way we set up our IKs, we don't have to move every single bone in the giant's body in order to be able to do things. Thankfully. We don't have to move every single bone in the giant's body in order to be able to get the animation to work correctly. I'm going to turn on auto keying just so that as I move things, it makes keyframes for them individually. So let me think here. Right, so it's going to raise one hand up, maybe curled up, and then punch downward. Okay. So, like I said, we don't have to move every single bone in order to make this work. I can take, for example, my hand IK, move it upward, move it over here, and then if I rotate along the y-axis, right, now it's automatically up here, right? I'm also just gonna adjust the animation so it starts on frame 0. I'm gonna take my hand IK and maybe move it a couple of frames into the future. I'm gonna come back over to my hand IK, make sure that my playhead is back at 0, and I'm gonna do Alt R, Alt G to put it back into position. And now, right, y'all can see and go up, which is pretty cool. But because of the way that this works, right, you may notice that the frame in between, like if you think about the way that your hand rises up, right, so you're here, right, or even if I wanted to be realistic, probably the hand should start like down here. So if I'm going to do G, Z, and pull down the hand IK to like down here, and then I'm going to rotate the hand. I'm going to rotate the hand like this, right? As you can see, so here's a thing that's important. You may have heard this term before, but now I'm going to define it for you. So what's happening here between frames 0 and 10? I didn't put any other keyframes in there, right? So what Blender is doing is basically doing an interpolation. Right? So it's trying to interpret, okay, what are the steps to get the hand IK from this position to this position? Well, okay, we're going to make our best guess at it and kind of just do lol them out. And because of that, right, because it has to guess at it kind of mathematically, it's doing this shenanigan where, like, partway through, it's kind of raising the hand up, like, in a weird kind of bend, right? So if you think about it, really, like, if we're going to raise our hand, we lead with the elbow, but the hand is still kind of pointed down, and then you put your hand up, right? So we can go in between. Well, just to be safe, though, let's take the keyframe. Let's take our elbow IK.R and keyframe its location and rotation first at frame 0. And now at frame 5, right, we're going to take it and move it. We're going to kind of like mess around a little bit until we can get the raise effect that we want, right? Because basically speaking, the elbow should be pointing out away from the body. If we're talking about like raising it from like here, out and away from the body to then roll up. We don't want the model to like break weird anyway. So we're going to take this and we're going to... So I'm going to mess around and move this around in ways that may look a little weird until I can actually get it into the right spot. GZ. Nope, nope, nope. GZ. Nope. So we want it up here. We're going to do GX. Pull it over here. We need to... Hang on. That's at the right spot. Cool. Take the hand IK. Gonna pull it down a little bit. I guess you also have to do this making a VTube avatar. If it's a 3D one, yeah. 2D ones to a certain extent also, yes, but mostly with 3D ones, the process... 2D ones, I want to say the process is very similar to this, yes. It's a little different in 2D, if only because you can, in fact, set up... Yeah, this will do for this. So yeah, for V2 avatars, you have to do something similar. Yes. With 2D ones, it looks a little different, but the process is functionally the same thing because you do have the ability to actually set up 2D. Sorry. You do have the ability to set up 2D images to also react in this way. If you look up a program called Spine 2D, you'll see that with Spine 2D, the main thing is that you build whatever thing it is in parts, like separate 2D images, and then you can rig it the same way that you would with this, just only in a 2D space. I want to say like the first Darkest Dungeon uses a very similar process to this, I want to say. Insofar as like we're gonna yeah, we still want it out there, so I'm gonna make a keyframe of this. Into keyframe, location, rotation. Doesn't Vanillaware too? Probably. I would have to see. I'd have to see them their sprite data to be sure. But yeah, like using Spine 2D is a very similar process to this. Though a lot of Vanillaware's characters move like they're animated by like a Spine 2D like process, so it wouldn't surprise me if they do. The effect in practice looks a lot like, you know how people do like wooden puppetry and it's like the limbs kind of like move in a certain way? It looks a lot like that in 2D when it's done that way. But there are certain ways of animating that can be mistaken for that as well. So let's take this hand IK into the keyframe here. So here's the trick, right? Because I don't necessarily want the arms to be moving into position in sync, I know that basically by frame 10, right, is when this one is raised. So, and 5 is like the midpoint. So, for the other hand, I'll have it start moving maybe like a couple frames afterward. Big bees! How you doing, bees? How are the things in the stuff? Good work on the couch last night. For the No Kid Hungry stuff, by the way. Are you from Pete? I'm doing okay, thank you. I'm doing all right. I do wish the weather was a little better today, but that can't be helped. Do 8, and we're just gonna pull this one over here. And then we're gonna do this. Lift it up over here. Always love shooting the shit with Mocha. Yeah. So, and yeah, the elbow is still kind of jacked up. But we can adjust that, right? We come over here and we pull this down some. Oh, whoop. Frame 0. Make sure that we make a keyframe here. We're going to come over to frame 4. Pull this down some. A little bit. And it auto keyframes here. And then by 8, we should... Hang on. And then by 8, we should pull it like over here. And then we just need to pull the hand down some more at frame 8. Just on the Z over here. Push it forward on the Y over here. Push it up on the Z some more. Snap, we working on a game? Yeah, I have a prototype that I am working on. I have a prototype that I'm working on, and I was like, well, I've been doing animations and stuff lately in my spare time, so we might as well, at least like, filler ones. So I'm like, we might as well, do some of that with the gang tonight. So, I don't have a headache today, so a major improvement over yesterday. Also, I made muffins Friday, and now I can enjoy them. Yeah! So, like I said, right? So if we look very carefully at the timeline of things, right? The right hand moves into position by frame 10. The left hand by frame 8. right? And that's very much on purpose. So we're going to stretch this out a little bit. So we're going to take these, extend them out to here, these, extend them out to here. So the giant is going to hold this pose till about frame 20. So, wait. And now we're just going to animate the next extreme for the giant's pose, right? We're going to click this. Oh, whoops. Lol. Hey, I forgot to make sure that some bones got parented, so I got to go back and do that. Going to go to edit mode real quick. Going to select these two and then select this middle thing. We're going to hit P. Keep the offset. And now we're going to go back to pose mode because I forgot to... There we go. I forgot to make sure that those bones were parented because I do that. Anyway. So, now that these bones are properly attached, right? So at frame 30, so we're going to cheat a little bit, right? We're going to use frame 30 as the extreme of where the giant has like bent down to do like the punch, right? So at first, parts of this are going to look weird and kind of whack while I align everything else and get it in place. But the whole point primarily is that we go to the extremes. Like it. Yeah, it should be punching down opposite. So that means that I grabbed the wrong leg. We want this one. So So yeah, at first it's gonna look kind of whack because it's just gonna be like, hang on. And this is why it's important to make sure that you keyframe. This is why you make sure that you keyframe your first frame. Very important. And also, I need to make sure that you. So I'm gonna have to. Hang on. G to put that back. G to put this one back. So, there we go. So, it starts to kneel here. So here at frame 30, we're going to grab the hand IK. That's the elbow IK. Dang it. Hand IK, my friend. Where are you? Over here. Okay, so... Hang on, y'all. Sorry about that, y'all. On principle, I don't ignore my grandma calling because there's a very good chance it's never for anything. It's not necessarily for things that are bad, but if I don't remember to if I let too much time go by, there's a good chance that I will literally forget to call her back, and then I never hear the end of it later. So, just as a rule now, I'm just like, yep, nope. If grandma calls, I just gotta respond on the spot. Okay, wait. Why? Fine. You were. Jeez. Hold on. Okay. 30. We're gonna take the hand. Put it over here. Why? The familiar Unity refrain. I guess technically I made his arms a little too short, so it's gonna look kind of weird, but you know, whatever. So that's over here. Alright. Well, I could probably compensate a little bit if I just make spine bend down a little more. Then take the hand IK. Yep. Alright, cool. And yeah, the rest of the body still might look kind of like weird, but it's fine. So we're going to do 20 for over here, 25. Grab the hand IK and pull it out some. Hand IK, pull it down some. Grab the hand IK, push it in some. Rotate some this way. Take this one. Now the only thing I have to worry about is this other hand here. So here's this thing. So by frame 30, I need the hand IK first. So elbow IK, calf. Here's the hand IK for this. We're going to pull this back down here. And by 30, what we're going to do is slightly pull this up and back a little. Up and back. Inward just a little bit. Alright, good. And now we're going to come over to this thing. Where is it? Yep. Time stretching. Nope. Hang on a sec. So we're going to come out of pose mode. Okay, the frame rate was there and I couldn't see it. We're going to switch to 60 FPS because that's what we're animating on. So, blah. So the elbow IK L looks like it didn't move. So I'm going to grab the elbow IK keyframe from here, put it over here. I just want to make sure that everything that should be staying in a spot up until a certain point has a keyframe. So heal IK L, heal IK R. Good. Okay, good. So, and if you want the hold to last a little longer, we grab everything from frame 20, like all this stuff, and we just need to shift it over some. I'm just going to grab all these keyframes over here, extend it out to like frame 50. All right, I'm going to save. I'm going to go to File, Export, FBX. FBX is basically a file format that's used to like put all your animations in. Hold on. Made a mistake. Need to make sure I switch back to the T-pose for reasons. I'm going to save. I'm going to go to Export. I'm going to go to FBX. I made some specific exporting settings that I'm just going to throw in there to make sure I don't have to like do some shenanigans. Export the FBX. Come back over to Unity. So if I go over to my models now and I go into this spirits folder, I should be able to crack open the giant model and see I have an armature, material, main body, blah, blah, blah. Cool. Now, because of the way that I had this set up, I need to come to this arm. I need to come to the actual model I imported. First, I'm going to pull it back in here. Cool. Looks like its basic animation still works and looks correct, and the size is still right. Excellent. So I'm going to come over here, click on the model, and over here on the side, check animation. I'm going to go and pull this out and turn this into just giant underscore attack for reasons. This pose does not loop. Then over here, hit apply. Now I need to take the giant. I need to move it up one level, and I need to give it its own folder. So giant. Throw this in here. And now for the giant, we're in the folder where I put the giant model. I'm going to do create, animator controller, and just do giant animator. Now, blah, blah, blah. We come over here, go into this. So basically speaking, I'm just setting up some of the modeling related stuff for the actual giant. So you can see we have the model over here for the giant, right? I'm going to add component animator. I'm going to do, it should be anim controller. So giant anim controller. I'm going to open the giant's anim controller. Crack open this thing, drop the giant attack animation into there. And that should be good to go. I'm also going to add in a script I wrote called the model animation script. I'm going to select the main body as this thing. Get that thing. The model's folder name is giant. Save it. Now I'm going to open up the script for the actual Giants attacking state and make sure that we get that set up. So, come over here, grab, hang on. So on state enter, we're going to do get component in children, hitbox script dot disable. Just going to make sure that the hitbox is turned off when we first come in. I may have to do some shenaniganry here. So if I go quiet for a minute, then assume that I'm doing some thinking. Action start frame. Okay. So it does do that, then it does current action dot invoke. Okay. Cool. All right. So, when does the action actually start? Wait a second. I need to go do a thing. I forgot to put notes of a specific kind onto this thing to make sure that I know what the heck I'm doing. So, let's fix that real quick. Header configuration. We're gonna do oh, nope. Come on. Tooltip. Gonna do this. Tooltips, like this thing. Tooltip is a nice way of making sure that anything that you can see on Unity side actually has an explanation for what the heck it does. So we're gonna do this. Then we're going to do this. So, basically speaking, because I think like a fighting game player, and I'm assuming that things are going at 60 FPS, things like action start frame is like, okay, what is the exact frame number that this particular action should start on, right? And that's the primary thing that I'm thinking about in terms of like how this thing works, right? So if I go back over here to Blender, I'm going to switch back over to the attack pose for a second. Yeah, I'll say frame 35, right? So when I come back over to Unity, I'm going to come over here. The action start frame is actually at like 35, and we'll say that the action length is 60. So I'm going to test this real quick, and assuming that I didn't completely fucking botch it, then what should happen is assuming I didn't completely botch it, then once I actually call down the giant, yeah. Okay, that works. The only thing is that it looks like, for whatever reason, his hitbox is already active, and so the enemies are getting hit when they really shouldn't be yet. Nothing happens to them because it's not, the hitbox isn't properly like set up immediately, but I need to fix that. So on state enter. If hitbox script ref does not equal null, hitbox script ref dot deactivate hitbox. Okay, that is set up, which means that there's probably something else I'm not doing correctly. Okay. On state enter, it does all that. Okay, hold on. Did I forget something? Okay, so put the giant on the ground, then enter into the state. Okay, so then why? So then that's the real question. So maybe I want it to last a little longer, right? So I can just go back over to the prefab that I made for the giant over here. And I can just do action length is like 90, right? So that way I know it'll hold a little bit longer. Gonna turn off maximize on play real quick because I need to check the thing. All right, so bup, bup. All right, hit the forward key. All right. Yeah, so right, you can see. So yeah, you can see that he animates correctly and does all that other cool stuff, which is nice. Now the main problem is just I got to figure out why shoot the crow that way. Okay. So here is the giant over here. All right, let me take a look. So the reason why I'm doing this in super slow motion is so that I can see it's always nice when a part comes together. Yeah. And then we wait, and it just goes. And as you can see, everything takes damage, right? Okay, wait, is the sound playing twice? The sound is playing twice. Sugar Honey Iced Tea. Hold on. That's what it is, I think. Hit box script. Hold on. On trigger enter. That's why. Blah. Hang on. Public. Hang on. Blah, 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 blah. That's why. That's a silly thing. I shouldn't have done that. Hang on. Okay, hold up. I'm going to do this real quick. It's probably what I want to do. This may not fix it, and this may in fact not do anything at all. Okay. Play Quake hit ow sound. I don't feel like putting in a serious comment right now. Play Quake hit sound. Oh. All right. Okay, blah blah, shoot the crow. Okay, giant. Yep, that's what it was. That's what it was. I figured it out. I'm a genius. All right. All right. That that works. Excellent. I can also go and fix whatever is going on with the Aqua Sprite. So, what's supposed to happen, right? When the Aqua Sprite is summoned, the idea is that you are supposed to be able to do damage to whatever is nearby you. But right now, if I were to, let me just like keep discarding till I get, right? So if I do the Aqua Sprite and I drop it off, right? I drop, okay, that works. Right. So, the damage that it's not doing its damage calculations correctly because of other shenanigans. So, here's the trick, right? The giant also does AoE damage, but if you notice, I gave it a little AoE detection hitbox, right? I gave it an AoE detection hitbox, right? That is basically the same size as this regular hitbox. Have I on and off? Sometimes I'll turn it off when I'm playtest. This is what I should do, honestly. I should leave it playing and then mute. I should mute Unity so that I don't get crossover. I may have to stop the music on occasion if I'm trying to like listen for a thing on the Unity side. But yeah. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna go into my Aqua Sprite and throw down the AoE detection that I made up. No, dadgummit. All right. Open up this. We're gonna turn this on real quick. So here's the hitbox for this thing. I'm gonna do AoE detection and throw it into the child of the hitbox, and it's like bam. Does that now. And now I have to come back over to the Aqua Sprite attack state and make it properly do a thing. So, the time to wait in between attacks. Lamau. The time to wait in between attacks. And then we're gonna do a tooltip. It says the same thing. Yeah, the volume is turned down because if I play it too loud, I literally, like, for me to play it loud enough for y'all to think, I will for y'all to hear it without having to turn it up, I have to turn the volume up on the high news side, and it's gonna fuck with my ability to both think and explain what's going on at the same time. Like, I don't have music like blasting when I'm working on stuff offline. I just need it just loud enough that I can hear it, but if I blast it, if I put it up higher, it's gonna start messing with my ability to actually explain to y'all what the hell's going on. Because my brain is gonna go like, can't think. Alright. So we're gonna do this. Debug.log. I gotta go have fun. Alright, bye Gucci. Thanks for coming by. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna say check viable targets instead of what we're doing over here. And we're gonna go void check viable targets. And then all we're gonna do is very simple. Blah 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 blah. Get all the targets that are in range and hit them. Alright, so then blah, blah, blah. Alright, so for each game object item in get component in children AOE detection script dot viable targets. Alright. We're gonna do item dot get component health, and then we're gonna do take damage Did I initialize the hitbox? Yep. So hitbox script ref dot damage to deal hitbox script ref dot element. And I think that should be it, right? Nope, incorrect. I should do it like this. Haha, Lamau, A. I should do it like this, actually. There we go. So not check viable target. Damn it. Hit viable targets. So basically, sugar. I might have messed up. And hang on. I forgot to paste down the code I had beforehand. So, time to go into source tree to go find the code that I accidentally deleted and copy and rewrite it and put it back in because I forgot to put it down beforehand. Haha. All right. Come over here. I just need to... All right. So we're just going to do audio manager dot... Nope. Don't want to do it for everyone because that's going to make a lot of splashing sounds. Not what we want. Audio manager dot instance dot play sfx. What did I call that? I said water 1, right? Or wait, no, I can do hitbox script ref dot hit sfx name. Past me is a fucking genius. As long as I actually made sure that the hitbox has the right name for what sound effect it should be playing, this should be fine. Water 1. Okay. I might in fact be a genius. Okay. Alright, music's gonna go off for a second because I have to actually be able to like hear... I have to be able to hear the sound effect and make sure I didn't fuck that part up. So, music off for a second. Alright. Skip, 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 skip. Alright. Yeet! Oh, I forgot to... Okay, good. So now it's not like kill murdering them every second, which is good. I forgot to turn back off the Aqua Sprite when I was done editing it, which is not good, but we fixed that. That's fine. Let's see. Independent card entity is this thing. I should probably make sure that Aqua Sprite Spirit attack state. Okay. Independent card spirit dot action state. We're gonna say transform dot local position equals new vector 3. Transform dot local position dot x0 transform dot local position dot z, and I think that should make it so that it spawns level with the floor instead of inside of it. I think, if I didn't absolutely botch that. Let's see. Battle mode. The sound isn't playing either, which means that I probably messed that up too. But card lands over here. Nope. Dang it. Okay. Okay. Yeah, Aqua Sprite's still stuck in the floor. Alright, hold on. Let me see if I can fix. Model. Nope. Dang. Alright, hang on. That should be at 0. And that should also be at 0. Okay, let's just 0 the whole thing out. Hurtbox and Hitbox are both at 0. Model needs to come down by like 1. Probably still not going to work 100% right because I probably screwed something up. I think that should be okay now, but there's a pretty good chance it's still going to not. It's going to like spawn in the floor. Wait, shit. Gotta turn. Okay. Gotta make sure that this Aqua Sprite Spirit attack state. So do that, and then should deactivate the hitbox. All right. Okay. Okay, so technically speaking, I don't even have to do that. Just make sure that it's deactivated because okay. Oh. Should still work though. Because it should still have the proper thing saved with that. So do that. Okay. Bup, 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 bup. Keep throwing out cards till Aqua Sprite shows up. Yep, okay. Water sound is playing. The Aqua Sprite is still stuck in the ground, but that's fine. Alright, AoE detection script. If other.transform.parent.get compo. Oh. Dang it, hold on. I didn't account for that. I did not account for that. Haha. Shit. Hold on. There we go. That's what I should do. Why did I have the whole thing turned off? I should have just turned off the model. So, the reason why I got like Unity getting angry at me for a second there is because it was like, hey, you realize you turned the whole actual Aqua Sprite off, right? I'm like, yeah, I did. So what? It's like I can't do anything for the setup that you want if it's already turned off when it first shows up. You know that, right? And I'm like, oh right. Shit, that's true, isn't it? Okay, why is it already doing... Oh! Hold on. Something here is off. Okay. So, why AoE detection script is doing all that other stuff? Okay. If other.transform.parent. Okay. Tag is that. Game object layer is that. Okay. That's why. That's probably why. Okay, let's try that again. Hopefully it's not going to do some nonsense and some bullshit where I accidentally fuck up and... Okay. Okay, cool. So hold on a second. Flame. Hold on, that's the flame Wisp model. Okay. So then, hold on though. Hang on. Flame Wisp. Hang on. Aqua Sprite. Okay. There's actually a thing that I technically fucked up a little bit. What is Jashawn trying to cook one thing but ending up with spaghetti? It's not spaghetti code this time though, at least. Damn. How you gonna do me like this? Okay, hitbox script. That's not the one I'm looking for. I need, which one was I looking at? AoE detection script. Okay, right. Hang on. On the, yeah, I was about to say that's rude. So there's a thing I need to do to future proof this actually. So the public void set AoE detect layer. Okay, on the tag of the object, because I realized the thing just now, and that is that I'm not supposed to assume, because at some point I'm going to be using the giant and other things like that for yeah, I need to be more careful about that. So these need to be hang on. Revert. Hang on. These should not be tagged. And the reason for that is mostly that I need to. So let's see. Hitbox. God, come over here. Hitbox. It should be, for this one, the hitbox should be getting initialized with the right data anyway. So let me do this. Okay, that's cool. Hitbox script ref dot game object dot layer equals. Hang on. Hang on. I should be able to do this. I should be able to do this much more carefully than what I'm doing right now. I should be able to do this much more carefully than what I'm doing right now. Damage string hitbox layer. Okay. 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 So let's do it over here. So we first enter the state. If okay, so data ref dot owner dot tag. Oh, hold on a second. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, thinking too hard about this. Okay, so hitbox script ref dot tag double equals player hitbox. And then And we're just going to do this, and then we're going to do else. We're going to do an else if. I'm about to say, like, in fairness, it's only spaghetti code if I don't actually know if I don't actually remember what I'm looking for. Enemy hitbox. Okay. So that should probably fix that part. Independent card, spirit, action, state. There should be 2 of those. Otherwise, it's just extruded pasta code. Yeah. Okay. And yep, both those should be handled. All right. Okay. Bam, that's cool. Giant card spirit attack state. When you enter the state, hang on, base.on state enter. All right, that should handle that too. All right, baller. We ball. We ride. Let's go. No, I don't want to no debugging. Hush. I'm technically debugging right now, but no extra debugging. Okay, first let me see if I accidentally broke the giant script by putting together that incredibly, like, speedy fix. I sort of did. I saw a null reference exception, which means I fucked something up. Okay, if other.transform.parent.get component. Okay, let's break this down a little bit. If, let's see. All right. Try this again. I probably still botched something, but let's see here. Okay. So we're gonna hit this key real quick. Okay. Giant is here. Giant hitbox is over here. Giant's hitbox is not active. Object reference is not set to it. Which one though? Motherfuck. Alright. AoE detection. AoE detection? Okay. Why is it catching the model? Why is it catching the model? Okay, hold on. Okay, that's cool. The models shouldn't be what have the health. Dang it, me. Hold on. Model. None of these should have a tag on them. No. None of you have that tag. Not a one of you. None of you. Okay. What the heck did you? What were you picking up? You shouldn't have been able to pick up. Unity, please. You were doing so good, Unity. Why are you like this? Okay, hold on. Summon card spirit action state. Okay. Do that. If it's not, if you're owned by that. This is probably a terrible idea, but I need to just check something real quick. Because God forbid. Don't make changes to your code while your game is running. I keep doing that, and then that's why I have to keep starting it over so quickly because you're not supposed to do that. Unity just gets kind of like shitty about it. Okay. Why? What are you picking up though? Why are you picking up the models though? They don't have. Oh, that's why. That's why. That's why. That's what I forgot to do. I went to all that trouble and forgot to do this. I was like, why is it doing that? It's like, because I forgot to do this. It's because I forgot to do this. It's literally because I forgot to do this. It's literally because I forgot to do this. If hitbox script ref.get component and children AOE detection script did I remember to do the thing? All right, yeah, that's what it is. Set AOE detect layer. In fact, why don't I just do one step further? Motherfucker! Why don't I just do one step further, go to the hitbox script ref, go into the hitbox script specifically, and just set up the thing where I do. So, header configuration. Yeah, Lost Kingdoms is a pretty good game. Like I said, I'm pretty sure. I am like 95% sure FromSoft is never going back to it. So that's why I'm like, fine, I'll do it myself. Or at least I'll do something like it myself. Because I'm pretty sure FromSoft, at this point, they have Elden Ring, Dark Souls, a bunch of other stuff that they're much more popular for now. And I don't think they have any reason to go back to Lost Kingdoms. I'm fine with being pleasantly surprised because, I mean, Armored Core is now a thing that exists. So, yeah, I was like, there's a chance, but like, I don't know. I am not strongly believing. Okay, so we have that. Okay. Hitbox script. Okay, right. This is the thing I should do. AOE detection script. AOE detection script. Or just AOE detection. All right. And what we're going to do is we're going to do AOE detection script equals get component AOE detection script. And I'm doing this so I can save myself a little bit of time over in this other thing. And I do hitbox script ref dot get hitbox script ref dot AOE detection script detect. I forgot to make the proper. So we're going to do public AOE detection script get protected set. So this way we can always look for one if we need one. The AOE detection script for this hitbox. Guess I could also just cheat and do this, I suppose. Is Lost Kingdoms PS1? No. GameCube, both games. Dolphin does run at night. If your computer can run Dolphin, then you're probably in good. Okay, so we got that. Is Luigi's Mansion GameCube? Yes, the first one is. I think by the time you hit the third one is when they finally moved it off of GameCube, but the first one is. So if you played the first Luigi's Mansion and that ran okay, you should be okay. Alright, did that. And then let me just make sure that this bullshit also doesn't run until the second one might have been 3DS, yeah. And game object dot layer does not equal 0. All right, that should make sure that no other weird bullshit happens when I don't want it to. AoE detect layer is set. Good. In fact, one statement: if hitbox script ref does not equal no, just to make sure that I didn't fuck this up, because I know that at some point in the future I'm probably gonna have a thing where I have an independent spirit that doesn't have a hitbox for whatever reason. So let's not cause more trouble than we need. Cool. Just remember how to remap the controller and finish Luigi's Mansion. ADHD. Why you do that? Yeah. Actually, let's go even further, because I would rather not have to repeat this whole process every fucking time. So let's go to the hitbox script and let's do public void set hitbox tag string new tag. Let's see. Tag equals new tag. If AoE detection script does not equal no, AoE detection script dot set AoE detect layer. Okay, baller. There's a pretty good chance that I probably still fuck this up somewhere and it will probably break. But if it's that, we're gonna do hitbox script ref dot set hitbox tag to this. So basically what I'm trying to do is minimize the number of times I have to wait, hang on. Dang it. Hang on, I fucked something up. Set hitbox layer int new layer game object dot layer equals new layer. I had that fucking backwards because I am not thinking. So set hitbox layer. And now we're going to do that, and then we're going to do enemy hitbox. So what I'm doing here is I'm trying to make sure that I minimize the number of times I have to call set AoE detect layer, because the less that I have to do that, the less places I have to change it in, and the less places I have to change it in, the less likely everything is to get like fucked up if I fuck up something. Okay. Mars ready. Okay, Mars. Okay. Okay, good. That works. The only problem is that there are other shenanigans going on, and it is not 100% working correctly. The flame wisp is fine, which means that if I had to guess, there's a thing that Past Me did that was pretty slick, and he didn't do it this time. Right, I didn't make an idle state. I didn't make an idle state for the aqua sprite because, of course, I didn't. Okay, cool. Guess that means I gotta fix that. All right. So aqua sprite. Create C# script. We're gonna do aqua. Damn it. I just named it A. Okay, let's not do this. We're gonna do aqua sprite dot idle state, and instead of mono behavior, we're gonna do independent card spirit idle state. And we're gonna do the thing I should have done the first time I did this, and make two distinct states for the aqua sprite. One where it's not doing shit, and one where it's like, all right, let's go. Like, okay, let's get him. Because guess who didn't do that the first time he programmed it? Past Me. And now Past Me has made an issue for Present Me to go fix. There are times where I don't like Past Me very much because he just does these things that make my life way harder for no reason. But also, sometimes he's also fucking yes, when he feels like it. And then sometimes he's not. And it's like, what the fuck? Why do you keep fucking doing this to me, you dick? Ain't that a mood? Exactly. I don't. Okay. Data ref. It'll handle that in a second. Okay, wait. Why did it... Why are you like this? Please just move the thing up. Okay, open the prefab because now you're just being stubborn for no fucking reason. Do you move up, please? Okay, idle is there, attack is there, attack is there. Okay, card spirit data is this. State machine is, well, no, that's auto setting. You're gonna go into the idle state first. Okay. Mega side-eyeing. No! Dang. Wow. Shoot. Card UI, that. Attack card spirit, don't need that. Model animation script, don't need that. Okay. Flame wisp, idle state. Alright. Oh. Hang on a second. How did I... Casca... ちょっと、てめえどこだ? Hold on. He ain't even denying it. Dang. Oh, wait a minute. Casca Then I don't even need it. Son of a I don't even need an... It's a good thing I did it anyway for the aqua sprite, just to be sure. It's fine. It's okay, really. So I'm gonna take off the AoE detection because I don't need it. Because it looks like all I really have to do. The giant does need it, mind you, because I want the giant to basically check it in that spot, so that's fine. But it looks like the thing that Past Me did is Past SJ was a genius again, kinda, sorta. he basically already set it up, kind of. I'm basically gonna kind of sort of I'm gonna kind of sort of do the same thing I did here. So we're gonna do this thing and this thing. So I'm gonna copy these. I'm gonna paste these over here. I'm gonna remove the current target part because this is an AoE attack. So all valid targets and the target layer that we're trying to aim at. So header is targeting information. And so we're going to do tooltip. And then we're going to say all valid targets. Then we're going to do another tooltip over here and say the target layer. So we're kind of sort of reusing the code from the Flame Wisp in order to like kind of do the same thing, but we're going to do it a little different. Rather than constantly checking for targets like the Flame Wisp is, well, that's a lie, actually. We are going to do it just to be sure. So we're going to grab this. We're going to come over here. We're going to do public override void update so it stops yelling at us. So if our game object is active in the hierarchy, we should be checking for targets. All right, well, what does that mean if we're checking for targets? It's like, okay, it's very simple, actually. Brain, please, brain. Idle state. We're going to come over here. We're going to grab this part of the code. Actually, lie. We're going to grab this part of the code and this part of the code. And we're going to have to delete a thing because otherwise it's going to start screaming. Void target check. Paste that here. Get rid of that so it stops screaming. Okay, so we're going to bit shift our target layer. Physics overlap cube all question mark physics dot overlap box. So their half extents should be hit box. It's a get component in children hitbox script dot transform dot local scale, I guess, should do it. Quaternion dot Euler, quaternion dot identity, target layer dot value, and then yeah, okay, cool. Don't need that thing. Okay. Okay, cool. Blah 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 blah. We don't need to do all the sorting stuff because basically speaking, right, the way that the code for the Flame Wisp works, right, is that with the Flame Wisp, the way that it works with the Flame Wisp is that it goes, hey, so if you're already targeting some object, right, with the if the player is already targeting an object when you throw out the Flame Wisp card, then it just goes, oh, okay, cool. Then the thing I'm attacking is the thing you're already targeting. Otherwise, I'm gonna set my target layer to whatever I need it to be. I'm going to I'm gonna like basically open up a sphere around me and go, what is vaguely in my range right now? If I only have one valid target, then that's the only target I hit. But if we have more than one, we sort by distance and go to the closest one, and then we do that thing. But that's the Flame Wisp, which can only hit one thing at a time. For the Aqua Sprite, we don't care about that nearly as much. We're just gonna overlap whenever things are roughly the size of our hitbox. And if our valid targets dot length is greater than 0, we switch to Aqua Sprite Spirit Aqua Sprite Spirit underscore idle state. Got to keep the naming consistent because that's important. All right, we're going to do that. Okay then. So the thing that we are now going to do is we're going to jump over here because we no longer need to go like do this thing, I think. So get component. So get component. This time we're going to do Aqua Sprite Spear. Okay, this is the only part where we might theoretically be screwing up a little. Just a little. We might be screwing up just a little bit. But I got public. All right, if I do it like this, I think I have a way of making this shit work. I think. Hang on. Protected override. This is either going to work amazingly or horribly. Damn it. So, protected override on state enter. We're going to bit shift the target layer. And then okay. So here's what we're going to do. Now in the attack state, when we go for hit viable targets, we're going to just do get component. Hang on. Okay, that's already. So get component Aqua Sprite Spirit idle state dot valid targets. We're going to do each collider. So because the idle state should already be doing that. This is the thing that we're going to do. And after we do that, if Aqua Sprite, nope, if Aqua get component, come on brain, Aqua Sprite Spirit idle state dot valid targets dot length is then state machine dot set state get I can do this correctly. Should be this. There we go. Okay, got it. Okay, only one other thing that we should probably do, honestly. If you see a DM from me on Guilded, no, you didn't. It's very much an important for after Steam. I just don't want to forget because I'm doing Guilded shit. Okay. I do have my Guilded. I did remember to turn on whatchamadoozit. I did remember to turn on hero mode for Guilded. So the good news is that it probably suppressed and I don't have to look. each collider item in valid targets if get component in parent health dot current health is less than or equal to 0, valid targets dot remove item. So this should make sure that we're going to just do this, and then we're going to do just a target check. So yeah, every time we do hit viable targets, we're basically gonna, hold on. If at some point I'm probably gonna do a variable with this. Count is greater than 0. You're gonna do these things. Then you're gonna do a check, and if we don't have any more valid targets, go back to idle state. Okay, either this is going to work amazingly, or I fucked it all up. I don't know, and we're gonna find out. Here it is. Either I am a genius, or oh no. I don't want to go back to Iowa State. Not that I've been. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. It almost worked. Okay. Public void. Okay. So I should do public void target updates. Actually. Okay. I have a way to do this that's less fucking horrible, actually. If valid targets that count greater than 0, then for each collider item in valid targets. Okay, hold on. Where did I do this thing? Okay. Yeah, shouldn't do that more than once. Okay. Aqua, Spite, Spirit, Idle State. Nope, Attack State. Over here, we're going to do dot target updates, or rather, update valid targets list is what I should do. Come over here, and then it says if item.get component in parent health dot. I did see that thing that all's wound up, and it wound up basically setting. So I'm just I already know I can't stop y'all. Do what you will, I guess. I say, well, technically I could, but valid targets dot remove items. I could stop you in theory, but we all know that like they're just some things that you just do for the memes. I wouldn't say always. Again, like sometimes past me puts me in a real fucking bind. Okay, Aqua Sprite, go! Okay, there we go. Yep. Alright, cool. Aqua Sprite does what Aqua Sprite is supposed to do. Giant? Alright. Crow, or doesn't... Yep, the knight does what it's supposed to do. Alright, I never got to show y'all the mermaid. So, hang on. Ouch, ouch, ouchie. Okay. Oh yeah, mermaid restores cards, right? Dryad restores health, mermaid restores cards. So, let's see. The knight is such a nice friend. Okay. Take a couple ouchies. I call the Dryad. Dryad restores my health. Yeah, the nice thing about the basic blast is that if you get really desperate for like magic, you can use it to kind of like hit the enemy and milk a couple of those out. Yeet! I'm gonna throw you all the way over there. So actually, now that I've been able to actually get that form of the detection working, now that I think about it, I probably could straight up remove that AoE script and basically just have the hitbox set itself up so that if it's a multi-target one, it sets all the viable targets that way. I'm gonna leave it the way it is for right now. I'm not gonna touch it. Because for right now, it does what it needs to do. It does what it needs to do, and I should not mess with it any further than I already have. We'll take those. So yeah, we've seen the Dryad already. That's the Crow. Oh. Huh. For some reason, the Y button didn't update correctly. That's weird. Dang it. Something broke. Ah, no, something broke. Okay, something that I somehow broke. That's cool. The only thing is that the training dummies also don't properly update. For whatever reason, the training dummies, their health stuff doesn't work correctly yet. Completely. Like, for whatever reason, it doesn't like overlap and fix itself correctly. And I don't know why. And I have not been able to figure it out yet. But yeah, game dev stream is just about finished for the most part. I don't think I can fix any of the current shenanigans y'all just saw without a lot more mumble storming and thinking to myself. So it's been absolutely lovely. Yeah. For those that came late, just another recap of what this game is about. I can't give you a release date because this is literally just a prototype. I'm just trying to figure this shit out. But I don't have a name yet, so it's just called Untitled Lost Kingdom Spiritual Successor, which is, I just call it ULX for short, because I don't actually have a name for it yet. The plan currently is to I have to probably re-rig EO's, model one more time to maybe see if I can get these fucking cards to move where they're supposed to instead of floating right out there, because they just do that. So I may have to re-rig their model one more time so that she can actually like have the cards appear and disappear and do all the other cool shit I want to do. At some point, is probably getting regular enemies in and some things like that. Release date for this thing, shrug emoji. I have no idea when. I'm mostly just kind of prototyping as much system stuff as I can before I even talk about release date. Probably not anytime soon because I don't have your boy needs a budget for that. So I'm just like prototyping and using it to like learn how to shoot this stuff. So yeah. We're going to be heading out of here. Don't close the tab yet, because we got to raid somewhere. So, lol, suddenly Sin appears out of nowhere. Okay, links. Medium. I write long-form game design articles over there. At some point, I'm going to write a thing for Legend of Legaia. That's the thing that's going to happen. When I do, it's going to be on Medium. You should read it. Stream VODs. All of my stream VODs get like auto exported after I'm done streaming. They usually take a couple hours to upload, but all of Legend of Legaia is currently there right now. If you want to go catch up on that. Ko-Fi, if you want to support the stream but don't want to support Amazon or Jeff Bezos because you think they're both stinky, I keep more money. And if I get enough from between Ko-Fi and other stuff, I can maybe start like looking at doing slightly more incidental things like related to like game dev. At least I have like lower costs. Throne, if you like seeing me mess around with like Kamen Rider gear on stream, if you want to buy me stuff for helping you organize the office or other such knickknacks or gifts and things like that, that's what Throne is for. All my other social links are on card. Feel free to go hit any of those up as you see fit. And then Gilded, if you want to hang out with us and you don't necessarily, words are hard. If you want to hang out with us and stream's not up, we have a nice community over at Gilded. We shit post, we watch Kamen Rider on Saturdays, the whole 9 yards. This upcoming Friday is Fighting Friday. Probably going to be, I don't even fucking remember which games won the poll. I'm going to go look right now. Those are my therapy notes. Those are not important. Not now, anyway. Where did I put the... Son of a fuck. Lol. Am I gonna have to go watch my own stream VOD to go find which fucking games we were supposed to play? Yeah, I just don't remember the order. So I'm gonna have to go back. I know that Type Lumina won the spin. I know for sure that Type Lumina won the spin. I remember that without having to go look. But the question is, okay, nope, I didn't put it on. I didn't put it on, God damn it, past me. See? This is the kind of shit I mean. So I can find better than Bouillon. I can find a bunch of other shit that I wrote down. And I can't find this shit. Oh, no, I found it. It was in the spot where I thought it was, but I didn't scroll up. because for some reason Notepad++ was scrolled down. So I was like, I only saw King of Fighters 15 at the last one. Okay. Well, Leo, I hate you so much. Why did y'all... Why? Anyway. Okay, let me yell at myself needlessly. Okay. Yes, okay. I will stop bullying past me. I will try to stop bullying past me. I'll try. I will try. It's hard, okay? It's hard and nobody understands. Alright. Okay, fine, and future me too, fuck's sake, yes. Okay. Now that I'm getting my head mostly back on straight. This Friday, Guilty Gear Strive. That's what we're playing. Please come by and look forward to it. It's gonna be the first Fighting Friday in May. Next Sunday, we're gonna start The Legend of Dragoon. We are going to be playing the PS4 version because you don't have to switch discs on that version. They fix most of the bugs. You may want to come by on Sunday because, all things being equal, I may have a special surprise for y'all to go along with Legend of Dragoon. So, Strive, 6 p.m. Eastern Time this Friday. Legend of Dragoon next Sunday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time, with potentially a special surprise. So you may want to come out for that. Please look forward to it. Okay, so I know that Shark was kind enough to tell me that currently the only person that is left in my can't visit yet rotation is One Wing Chris. So we're not going there, but I will figure out where we are going based on what all is up and in and on there and shit, if I don't get distracted by all right, come on, brain, please, brain. Okay, twitch.tv. Go to my own moderator panel because I know that we're not going to Chris, but moderator panel makes it easier for me to see who in the heck is currently on the line right now. Okay, all right. We have two options. I'm picking the second one because the second person has not been online in a hot minute, and this is how we're gonna do it. Surprising nobody, we're gonna go hang out with Brito. So, yeah. So the TLDR. Bree is one of my closest friends. They're really cool, really chill. They like to play a lot of Grand Theft Auto 5, RP stuff mostly. So we're gonna go hang out with Bree, give them a good old SJH does raids. Throw in your favorite emails, let them know who sent you, X, Y, Z, all that other stuff. Whether I see you for Strive this Friday at 6 p.m. or I see you for them fighting, or Legend of Dragoon, God, next Sunday at 5 p.m. Till then, stay safe, wash your hands, wear a mask. Don't go outside if you don't have to. Be excellent to each other, but not to bigots, TERFs, sexists, racists, Zack Snyder fans, or people who are mean to your friends, but especially not Zack Snyder fans. It's not Zack Snyder fans, because, oh yeah, other general fascists and capitalists. And definitely not Zack Snyder fans, because Zack Snyder is a Randian, and Randians are the worst. So, anyway, till the next time I see y'all, whatever that is, take care. Bye.